Two men graduate the same year, same degree, same starting salary, $3,200 a month. One takes the safe path, a 9-to-5 at a logistics company, steady paycheck, health insurance, a desk by the window. The other turns down 3 job offers and starts a business from his bedroom that makes $40 in its first month. His parents think he's making a mistake. 10 years later, one of them is still setting an alarm for 6 a.m. The other hasn't set an alarm in 6 years. This is the story of what actually happened, year by year, and why the gap between them isn't what you'd expect. Year 1. Same city, 6 months apart. He starts his 9-to-5 in March. First paycheck, $3,200. He signs a 1-year lease, buys a car on a small loan, and starts putting $200 a month into a savings account, because that's what you're supposed to do. His friend spends year 1 differently. No salary, no lease he can afford alone, so he still lives with his parents. His business makes $40 in month 1, then $65, then $30 the month after that. He works nights and weekends on it, on top of a part-time job just to cover food and gas. By December, one of them has $2,400 saved and a car payment. The other has $380 saved, and something else, a small list of 40 customers who keep coming back. Year 2 is where it gets interesting. The 9-to-5 guy gets his first raise, 4%. He moves to a slightly bigger apartment, buys a nicer car. His savings account grows slower than his lifestyle does. His friend's business hits $800 a month, still not enough to live on, still working the part-time job. But something changes. For the first time, the number is growing faster than he's growing his spending. Neither of them notices it yet, but the gap between income and growth has already started to split in 2 very different directions. Year 3. This is where their paths stop looking similar at all. The 9-to-5 guy gets promoted, assistant manager, more responsibility, a few $100s more a month, and noticeably less free time. He's good at his job. His boss tells him he has a real future here. He starts to believe it. His friend's business hits $2,100 a month. He quits the part-time job. For the first time, the business is his only income, and it's less stable than a paycheck, but it's his. Year 4, the 9-to-5 guy buys a house, 25-year mortgage. It feels like an adult decision, the responsible one. His parents are proud. He tells himself, this is what winning looks like. His friend almost quits that same year. A slow month drops him to $600. He questions everything, but he doesn't have a mortgage, a manager, or a ceiling on what next month could be, so he keeps going. Year 5. The business crosses $5,000 a month. That's more than double what his friend makes at the company. After 5 years, 3 raises and 1 promotion. But here's what nobody around them notices yet. The guy with the stable job now has a mortgage, a car payment, and almost nothing left over each month. The guy with the risky business has no debt, and for the first time, more money than he knows what to do with. The roles have quietly reversed, and neither of them has said a word about it out loud. Year 6 is when it finally comes out into the open. They meet for a birthday. A few drinks in, his friend mentions, almost casually, that the business just had its best month yet, $9,000, more than his friend makes in 3 months at the company. Silence. Then, a forced laugh. Must be nice, he says. He means it as a joke. It doesn't land like one. Year 7. The 9-to-5 guy gets his biggest promotion yet, manager. A real title, a corner desk. He tells himself, this is the reward for staying the course, but the raise barely covers the rising mortgage rate on his adjustable loan. His friend hires his first employee that same year. He's no longer running a side hustle. He's running a company. He still doesn't own a house. He still drives the same car from year 2. But for the first time, money isn't something he thinks about every day. It's just there. Year 8, Year 9. The gap stops being about income entirely. It becomes about time. The manager works later than ever, 9, 10 hours a day, plus the commute, plus checking emails at dinner. His friend works maybe 15 hours a week now. The business runs mostly without him. Year 10. Same reunion, different birthday. The manager brings his laptop, just in case something comes up. His friend brings nothing. He doesn't need to. One of them built a career. The other built a life that doesn't need him in it every hour of every day. And neither of them started with anything the other didn't have. So, what actually separated them? It wasn't luck. It wasn't talent. It wasn't even the idea itself. It was what each of them was willing to trade in year one, when neither path looked promising. The manager traded 10 years of comfort for stability, a real paycheck, a real title, a real house. That's not nothing. For a lot of people, that trade is worth it. But his friend traded 10 years of comfort for something else, for the chance that year 8 or 9 would look completely different from year 1. He didn't know it would work. For a long time, it looked like it wouldn't. That's the part nobody shows you in a 30-second video about passive income. Not the beach, not the laptop. The 3 years where $40 a month felt like proof that you'd made a mistake. If you're standing where they both stood on day 1, the real question isn't which path is better. It's which trade are you actually willing to make?